Would you mind being on camera for a sec to explain what's going on?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Is that cool?
I've been filming all kinds of people,
So Sarah, can you tell me who you are and what is going on today? What's happening?
So my name is Sarah, and I got here at about 7:30 this morning. And we are currently on E2, which is the basement of the state capitol, the lowest you can go. The hearing room is on E1, which is one floor above us. So I entered the capitol, got through security, and headed toward where the hearing room is on E1, and all of a sudden I see these ropes and this line. And what they've done, this line that I'm currently in on E2 is the line to register to testify. And so when I got over there and I looked at the line, I saw Sergeant at Arms, and the line actually wraps down the stairs, down E1, down off of E1, all the way down the stairs, all the way around E2, past a whole bunch of these offices, and all the way around the corner back there. So I asked the Sergeant at Arms, I said, so what's your plan for getting me in this line? And he said, well, you're going to have to go downstairs and stand in line like everybody else. And I said, oh, really? I said, even if I can't get up the stairs? And he said, oh, that's a problem. And I said, of course that's a problem. So long story short, he wound up going to get the Sergeant at Arms who works in the Senate, who's a guy who I know, and I said, Rick, I said, what's going on here? And apparently their procedure for anybody with strollers and mobility impairments or whatever is that you go stand in line like everybody else. When you get to the stairs, they will send a Sergeant at Arms to stand on the stairs for you.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting.
Yes. Bullshit. I don't know if you've given people a feel for how big this extension really is.
Yeah, I mean, I just went down those stairs, all the way from where it seems to be originating from.
Yeah.
And it's a massive line. It's a massive line.
So we'll be here for a few hours. And like I said, this isn't even the end of the line.
So you got here at 7:30?
Yeah.
And it starts at 10?
The hearing starts at 10. Registration apparently starts at 9, which is why this line has not moved.
Oh.
It's just gotten longer.
Oh, I see. It's not. It's just they're just accumulating right now. Okay. So, can you tell me more about what they're actually going to be hearing about today? What are they going to be talking about?
So this is SB1, which is what they call the Senate companion for HB2. So they're substantively the same bill. So the hearing that we had, my days are blending together. What was it, last Tuesday? I think. Yeah. So anyhow.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a Tuesday.
So the hearing that we had last Tuesday in the House, this is essentially going to be the same hearing, but in the Senate. The way that legislative procedure works, you have to have a bill be approved by the House and by the Senate in order to get anything done. So rather than sending the House bill through the Senate has decided to introduce their own bill, which more or less mirrors HB2.
Anything that you think people should know about what's happening right now? Or?
I mean, honestly, I think what you're seeing happening right now is really evidence. The other side, anti-trusters, have really tried to paint this as, they're going to win this fight. They have the numbers, they have the moral ground, whatever it is that they're claiming. But when you go through this hall and you look at all the numbers, most of us aren't orange, and so that's not necessarily going to alter the outcome of this bill, but I think it really says something about the way that men and women and all kinds of folks are coming out saying, this is really the wrong direction for Texas to be going in.
Do you think this is going to die in the courts? Do you think it's going to make it through the ledge? And
I guarantee you it'll make it through the ledge in some form. There's no way it wouldn't. Democrats and moderates don't have the votes to keep it from passing this legislature. That's just kind of the nature of the game right now. I I don't know what'll happen once it gets signed. You know, it's not going to go into effect immediately, obviously, and it'll probably get tied up with the courts. And I don't know what that process looks like.
Do you have any perspective or any hunches as to why we're seeing all these things happen at the same time in these various different states? The same issue, kind of like quickly trying to get passed through. Do you have any kind of take on why that?
Alec.
Just
Alec.
Why though? Why Alec? Why are they doing it?
Who else? They've got money. They've got the agenda. They want to be able to. They want to be able to regulate women and to regulate minorities. Look at a lot of sort of other changes that have gone on in terms of criminalization. Like this is a whole bigger. It's part of a bigger strategy. We're already criminalizing pregnancy. You know, we're criminalizing all of these things. And so of course it makes sense to criminalize abortion. You know, I think it's part of a very radical pushback against a lot of the gains that we've made in civil rights and human rights for women and for people of color and for LGBT folks for the past, you know, couple of decades. You know, these gains that we've made all of a sudden, you know, people with Alec and really conservative folks have decided that they've had enough and they're going to pour all their money and all their dirty tricks, you know, into making America as white and as male and as uniform as they can. And they're not going to win. Ultimately, I don't think. I would hope not. I would hope not.
Certainly.
But
many would hope not.
Right, but I think, you know, this is really, this kind of uprising, like, I've waited for years to see stuff like this go on in this capital. And so, even though I think, you know, this effort itself is a losing battle, I think this is really amazing. This is energy that people have hoped for around any sort of progressive issue for years. I've never seen energy like this
at the Capitol
ever. And I've been here about 6 years and spent a lot of time in this building. So, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's probably going to be good as far as what I'm getting right now. And I'm going to go see what else is happening. I heard that some folks are going to some offices. Is that right?
Yes.
Or did they? Hey Corey. Hey Corey. Are they still going to offices right now?
They haven't left yet? Are they in the cafeteria?
Yes.
I'm about to say F this line and go join them.
Yeah, they are right there.
Okay.
So what they are doing, so the process for the bill, it passed out of committee, House committee last week. And so the next step for the House bill is that it has to go to calendar committee. And calendar committee decides when it will be heard on the floor.
Okay.
And that is going on right now.
The calendar committee is going on
Yes,
right
the
now?
House calendar committee, or 8:30, I guess. I think it might be 8:30.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What room is that going to be in?
To look it up.
You have to look it up?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're going to actually, in a little bit, decide when it will go to the House floor?
House floor, yeah.
Okay. And at the House floor, is that going to be another time for testimony? Or?
No.
No.
That'll be us sitting in the gallery. If we make noise, we get arrested.
What, is it just going to go to a vote at that point on the House floor?
What's going to happen is it's going to be similar to what you saw happen in the House a week and a half ago, where Democrats presumably will offer amendments.
Oh, okay.
And Lovenberg will table all of them.
Excuse me. In here, is this the calendar committee for the SB1 or for the HB2?
It's a calendar committee for anything that we're going to set a calendar for coming up.
For that,
So anything
on the House side?
Anything that's gone through committees eligible to put on a calendar.
You responded to the text yesterday. Yeah. See, I've got a whole.
What are you doing?
Look how little that thing looks with the cap on the back.
Oh, is that your Metro? Oh, you fit in. You need to go pick Gordon up.
I told Gordon I'll pick him up
Tell him
for
to pick him
lunch.
up and go to lunch.
We can put one of those charging stations.
All right, that was good. We're going to let people know what happened. So, like in less than a minute, the calendars committee passed this, right? So, shall I do one announcement? I think we work in groups to announce this. One for tomorrow. One for tomorrow, right? What time? We're going to announce it. The House Calendar Committee
us what's going on right now and what's happening with the registration.
So right now, the line is significantly long. I would say it's probably 7 or 8 rooms full. It's kind of like when you're at in a carnival ride and they put the line in a swirl. So there's hundreds and hundreds of people here. But what they're telling us is after 11 a.m., people will not be able to fill out a vote card or a testimony, registered testimony to testify. So it's a bit of an issue and a concern because you're wondering, I'm in this long line, and am I after 11 a.m. or am I before 11 a.m.? It seems really unfair, like terribly unfair and tyrannical for those of us that have gone really far out of our way to get here and be here.
You came from Dallas, right?
Came from Dallas.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, thank you. Thanks for letting us know what's going on.
Go ahead.
Honorable committee members, thank you for allowing me to speak to you today. My name is Pat Johnson. I live in Fayetteville, Texas. I'm in Senator Hager's district, but he is not representing my views. I am 62 years old and so thankfully not in need of making the hard decision of an abortion. I am here to show my opposition to this bill for the young women in Texas who I want to have the same opportunity of choice that I had 40 years ago, guaranteed to me by Roe versus Wade. I was grateful for this choice, and in return have tried to live a productive and happy life. I have contributed to the lives of many children by teaching them the joys and wonders of art. The right of choice is a settled law, and Texas will be stepping back to the dark ages with the passing of SB 1. This bill will eliminate affordable health care for many Texas women. These unnecessary regulations will narrow a woman's choice, a dangerous government intrusion on our most personal decision. I defer to Dr. Matthew Romberg's earlier statements of the day on the medical concerns if this bill is passed. He is right. This is a decision to be made by a woman and her doctor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to this panel. The next panel is Pamela Morgan. If you're here when I call your name, come up and sit down. Cameo Williams, Noelle Dempsey, Sally Ann Henry, Kristen Lee, Pamela Baggett. The next panel will be Joyce Zunis, Clayton Maxwell, Gloria Trent, Molly White, Claire Verrett Mathias, and Donna Romaine Mantish. Pamela Morgan. Pamela Morgan. Okay, Pamela Morgan was registered in favor of the bill. We will change that from oral to registering a position in favor of the bill. Cameo Williams.
Hi. Hello, my name is Cameo Williams from Austin, Texas. I'm a constituent of Senator Kirk Watson. I represent myself and I am against SB 1. I'd like to share some things. I have 3 children that I chose to have. Choosing to carry to term and parent is very different than being forced to do either. We women have been menstruating every month since we were 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, all the way through our 40s, 50s, and 60s, every month. We know our bodies, that if we were not pregnant or our first cycles are regular, we know our bodies, we know what we are emotionally, physically, mentally, psychologically capable of any given day or night. We know. We know how much time, nurturing, money, energy, patience, knowledge, and effort it takes to raise healthy children. Collectively, we've got that covered. Planting a wanted pregnancy has its own anxieties, but we know that there is no word for the stress, pain, hormonal fluctuations, panic, and suffocating fear it is being pregnant when it was not planned. There are only 4 ways for a pregnancy to end: miscarriage, abortion, vaginal birth, and cesarean section. None of these are comfortable, easy, or pain-free. They all affect the cervix and uterus. They all require physical, emotional, mental, and psychological energy to get through. We know this. We know our bodies. Sperm is not magic. It does not suddenly make anyone maternal or paternal or financially stable. Just carrying it does not do that. If it did, there would be a whole lot less deadbeat parents. Abstinence-only based sex education is proven to be completely ineffective. Teach birth control, make it affordable and convenient to acquire. Teach your boys and men to be committed and present fathers. Also, if everyone voting for this bill arrived with pre-approved adoption forms proving that they are ready to adopt the thousands of unplanned and unwanted children that are forced to be born after September 2014 by women seeking but unable to get the abortion they desperately seek, I might believe that those for this bill are serious about saving the babies. I know a lot of people and their secrets, and I can promise you that there are a lot more deadbeat fathers than there are women who've had abortions.
Thank you for being here and testifying.
Tell me who you are. Tell me, because I was here earlier today, and I caught people signing up to give testimony, but I take off to work and I missed the march. I know there was a big march earlier today, so can you tell me a little bit about the march?
Yeah, definitely. So the march started in the middle of the rally, the pro-life, as they call themselves, rally. And at first it looked a little weak, a little afraid that it might not draw the attention. But so Austin Audio Co-op brought down the party wagon. We assembled it and pulled it around the south side of the steps. And as we arrived, we realized it was a huge group of people. The energy was nuts. It was really positive. There was a lot of dancing. It was massive. I mean, standing on Congress, you could see, the march from the beginning of the north side of the bridge to the Capitol. It was packed. It was amazing. Like I said, it wasn't an angry march. It was really positive. There was a lot of just cheerfulness and positivity. And
I was hearing thousands of people. Would you say thousands of people?
I would say thousands of people were here for the march. The interesting thing about the march is we brought it back to the Capitol. And as we pulled up, the pro-life rally was still going on. But we masked up in the middle of 11th Street and Congress and marched onto the Capitol grounds, and it was nuts. People went crazy. We went into the rally, and we got a lot of, we just basically turned it into a dance party. And I'm not, for fighting the opposition, but it was about fun and dancing and saying we're not going to leave. You busting people, and that, to me, it's not representative of democracy. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I think we did a good job at saying we are not leaving, and here we are, and we're making a lot of noise.
How are you feeling now that we're 2 weeks in, something like that?
2 weeks. I'm tired, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see the sense of empowerment that's come across a group of people that I guess I usually wouldn't assume would take the routes that they're taking in terms of speaking their voice, outside of legislation, taking creative action, singing, oming, chanting, marching. I mean, it's really awesome to see people take the power back into their hands and not depend on the state for all their needs.
Yes. Okay, cool. Thanks, Geo.
Thanks.
Samasta